Hey, we're live. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Noe. We're doing something different today, so hoping to get everybody's comments here in the chat. So I'm going to do something completely different, something I've never done before in this live stream. So, typically I'll do a character, usually from some artwork or illustration that or animation, that I've enjoyed, that I think everybody else would enjoy too. And today I'm going to do something very different. I am going to do something that is my own sculpture. However, it's also going to be animated. I am going to do a claymation style animation in ZBrush, and it's going to be kind of a fun, cartoony transformation animation from one object to another. So this object is going to change shape through a fun animation into another shape and then back again, but with a different animation. So it'll create this looping cycle. It should be really fun. It's going to be kind of a really unique creative challenge. It's going to be a challenge for me because uh, not only have I never done anything quite like this before, I've never done it live before. So you guys are going to be seeing every step of the way. There's probably going to be mistakes. It's probably going to be messy. There might be some swear words and tears. I don't know. But we'll just see about this. So what I need from everybody today is we're going to do this like improv style. I need suggestions. Type in the chat objects that you would like to see transformed from one object to another. Just give me one object, and from the list of things that people put in the chat, I'm going to pick two of them and do a transformation animation between the two of them. So this should be really fun. And while I'm waiting for some suggestions to come in, we can just chat about whatever. I'm trying to get a subscription or um, what is it, a membership to a ceramic studio. That should be really fun. I can't wait to go in and work on some clay and just be creative, do some cool things off the computer because I'm just so used to doing stuff digitally that it's gonna be really fun to do things um, in the physical world and just play with clay. Hey there, Malika Miller. Hey, May Myers and Mohammed Jahir. Good to see everybody coming in. Go ahead and just let me know in the chat what objects you want to see me sculpt and animate today. This might be something that takes several episodes to get through all of the animation cycle I want to do. I mean, it's not going to be a huge amount of animation, maybe a few seconds, to transform from one object to another in maybe 2 or 3 seconds and then back again with another animation in another 2 or 3 seconds. So it's not going to be too complicated. So I'm sure everybody's a huge fan of sculpting masks. Malika Miller. Yeah, masks are super cool. Man-eating plant. That would be a cool one. Let's just throw a bunch of things into the chat and and then we'll have a lot to pick from. Just start listing objects that you think would be interesting to see sculpted. Doesn't necessarily have to be character based. I know my live stream channel is like sculpting characters with Ryan Kittleson or whatever, but the character is going to be in the animation. Like I'm going to try to do this animation really wacky, like really extreme deformation with a lot of character to it. If you guys have ever seen the animations of Bruce Bickford, that's kind of what I'm going for. Um, Kind of like a cross between Bruce Bickford and Bill Plimpton. Uh, so something really just fun, weird out there. All right, we've got a man-eating plant and a mace. Let's see some other suggestions. Just throw in five different objects or things that you can think of. there's a animation on, well, Pokemon's a great idea. I don't want to do anything that's like copyrighted. I want it to be like an object that isn't like trademarked or copyrighted. A Walkman, that's a cool idea. A mace, is that the one that's like a spiky ball at the end of a stick, or is that the spiky ball at the end of a chain on a stick? A basilisk. Okay, okay. Dog barking, biting. Spiky ball with a stick. Okay, I am going to do a mace, and then while I'm sculpting this mace, people go ahead and suggest more objects. And while I'm sculpting this mace, I will, uh, yeah, I'll kind of think about what object I'd like to morph this mace with, and and then uh, we'll get down to business of animating. So I think I'll try to sculpt both of them individually, and then make animations that deform from one to the other. So we've already got a ball ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and make the stick portion of it. Pop in a cylinder here with Ryan's tools. And let's try to give this mace some extra character. You know, maybe like it's made out of a really gnarly stick. You know, not just a nicely smooth crafted stick, but like something with some more character to it. You know, really go all out with it. So I went ahead and Z-remeshed it to give it some more geometry. So I'm gonna try to sculpt this as if it was like taken kind of more straight off of a tree branch, you know, a lot of organic. Let's see, should I have the thicker end be towards the top? Yeah, let's go ahead and have the thicker end towards the top. And then let's see, something else I want to do to this is kind of make it look like there were some side branches that had to be cut off to make this. Hey Aries, so I'm making a mace thanks to Rodrigo's suggestion. And then I'm going to sculpt a second object, and then I'm going to do a fun animated deformation between the two of them, like a transformation animation. I'm going to do the animation in ZBrush, kind of claymation style. And I'm not really using any reference for this. I'm kind of like doing it from memory, what I think a nice thick mace stick should look like. I know tree rings aren't actually a spiral, but it just makes it easier to sculpt it this way. I think one of the important things about what I'm trying to do is just keep it fun, keep it loose, don't overthink it. I think I'll put kind of like an end cap, like a something you would keep your hand from grip or slipping off the grip here at the base of it. Maybe something made out of metal, you know? So while I'm working, go ahead and put more suggestions into the chat of what I could animate this base into. I'm gonna put some rivets on this. Hey, Alacron. Yes, it is a mace, but unfortunately, the game today is not guessing what I'm making. Someone already suggested mace, and so what we're doing this time is we are suggesting objects that I can morph, animate this mace into through a fun deformation. Hey, Tatoon, doing all right? How are you? Trying out some texture brushes just to see if like it makes sense to give this uh, kind of wooden club section of the mace some kind of like texture. Kind of a wood bark effect, maybe. It's not really quite the same thing as wood bark, is it? Any tips on working with cavity maps? I don't do a lot with cavity maps myself. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of tips to give. But if you have any specific questions, like is it a problem you're running into, or you just generally want to learn how to use them, we can chat about that. Go for it. Hey, thanks a lot, Chezerks. Glad you're a fan of Ryan's tools. There are plans to update relatively soon. A couple things I'm working on. The latest version of ZBrush kind of changed how some things work under the hood, which means some things in Ryan's tools kind of got messed up a little bit. So I've been trying to figure out how to fix some of those things, and when I get a fix together, I've also got a couple new features to add to Ryan's tools. So yeah, it'll be bug fixes and a new feature, a couple new features. I don't have a date ready for that, but hopefully it'll be soon. Thanks for being patient, everybody. In case people don't know about Ryan's tools, I'm going to type a link here in the chat. So that is my plugin for ZBrush. A lot of cool features. One of my favorite is a trash bin, so you can delete and undelete subtools. There's a free version, which is an older version, and then there's a $5 version for students and hobbyists, and then there's a $20 version for professional users. And that pro version comes with a lot of cool little extras like custom brushes, alphas, materials, custom gizmo, stuff like that. So one thing I'm going to try to do here is make the handle kind of look like it was carved. So like if someone took a knife and started carving like a grip into the wood. Or actually, you know what I should do? I should do like leather wraps. That would be, that would look better, I think, too. I'm going to sculpt some flat spots onto this end cap to make it look like it was like pounded metal. Got beaten into place to hold it onto the mace. I think I'll rough up some of these rivets too, so they don't look so neat. You know, they were pounded into place as well by a very crude blacksmith. All right, let's do some wrap, some leather wrap around this handle. Just trying to visualize and imagine how I want to go about doing it. Okay, I've got an idea. I'm going to start by making it a spiral object. Let me see. I'm going to share my full interface here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And let's get a helix. I just need to adjust some of the initial properties of this helix. For example, I don't want it to be thicker in the middle. Okay, so now we've roughly kind of got a spiral wrapping shape. Let's see, what do I want to do with it now? Yeah, let's Z-remesh it so that it's got kind of more even topology. That'll work. I wonder if I should do a projection. Let's see what happens if we do projectile. All right, yeah, that's cool. It just projects it right on there. We'll give it some dynamic thickness and subdivisions. Get some overlap going. We'll just get this last segment to tuck down under the end cap. And let's see, I think I'll get this top of this wrap to tuck back down under the previous loop. Cool, it's coming together. And finally, let's get some spikes on this. I think I want the spike ball to actually kind of be a little bit more like kind of like the end cap here at the base, but yeah, kind of like pounded metal onto the top of this club. Kind of like that effect the way I was doing that on that top piece. I'm going to do a little bit more of that to this piece here. Getting it to be a little more organic. I'm going to push and pull a little bit of these leather straps too so that they look a little bit more organic and irregular too. Cool. Could be a cool little asset to sell on Turbo Squid, especially if I get it textured all nice and neat. All right, let's put some spikes on. I wonder if I can make those spikes longer. I'll just pull them out later. Hey Diomedes, this is Ryan Kittleson. Yeah, they usually mix up the names here in the live stream. That's a thing that happens on ZBrush's end, where they set up the calendar or something. I don't know, but I don't know if I've been in a single live stream where they got the right name on it. Probably could have done just like three of these and duplicated them. That's okay. It's not like I'm on the clock for a client or anything. This is just having fun sculpting. It's kind of nice if all of them have a unique character to them. Cool, looks like we've got ourselves a mace here in just about the course of an hour. Not too bad. All right, I think I'm gonna work on the wood a little bit more. That wood's a little lumpy, a little soft. Trying to think like what kind of technique I want to use to get a nice kind of wood pattern or texture on there. Does anybody hear a beeping sound? Even though I didn't really like how that initial kind of wood texture effect looked, it kind of, when you smooth it out, it kind of gives a nice kind of a substrate for building more texture on top of. And that's something I really like from traditional art. You know, if you whether you're working in clay or charcoal or paint or whatever, it's okay to make those mistakes. You know, you just make some kind of effect. If you don't like it, you just kind of paint over it, and like the remnants of what was there before gives really nice kind of like a history and a texture, something, you know, it adds to what goes on top of it. So that's why I say like don't worry about using the wrong brush or make a mistake or and I would say rather than undo a lot of the times if you can just like work on top of any of those mistakes and then you get a little uh, hint of that texture below it and it can add some nice organic effect to whatever it is you're working on. So burned out, that is a sculpture that I made here in the live stream previously, and that's digital, um, but that image is a 3D print, the one that you see on my Instagram, I believe. Probably if I was doing this for a job, I would find some tree bark texture, um, make this go quickly, but since it's just you know, just me on my own time, just having fun with it. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun and just getting in the zone with sculpting some fun little tree bark, huh? Sorry guys, I'm gonna be right back. There's a weird beeping noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like really annoying me. It's coming from somewhere in my house. And so, yeah, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. Transforming into the beeping device. Yeah, that was one of my housemates had an alarm set and he's out of the house and so his alarm was going off without him being here to turn it off. Gonna have to bring that up at the next household meeting. I hope he's watching right now. Sometimes he watches this live stream. If you're watching right now, Giacomo, turn off your alarm if you're heading out. All right, so this mace is supposed to be a little on the cartoony side anyway, so I'm not like incredibly like obsessed with how it looks. Just want something that that feels nice, you know? It feels like something you'd want to swing around as a Viking. All right, I'm going to save this. All right, so I'm mostly liking how it looks as a model. Let's go ahead and put some of the new, what is it, the Redshift materials and textures and color on it, shall we? Yeah, looks like I accidentally blurred out some of these tree rings. I'm going to punctuate a few sections of this with a little bit more detailed texture. Cool. Let's see if there's a good metal material. Yeah, that'll be good for that. Redshift lead. Let me see if there's another. Well, I think all the other metal materials are pretty shiny, and I want something more dull. Let's do a quick redshift render of this, see what it looks like. Oops, I accidentally opened KeyShot instead. So it should just take a few moments here to render. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna work on some color. And I'm also gonna do a mask by ambient occlusion, so we can darken up some stuff that's in the shadows. I'd kind of like to make it transform into something that looks like totally different, because it's already kind of like a same shape as like a match. But that could be a cool project for another time. Oh, that's weird. The metal material wasn't letting me paint color on it. Is that a property of the metal materials, is you can't paint color on them? I wouldn't have thought they would work that way. But again, then again, I haven't really tried it before. Okay, so aluminum lets me have that. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Wait a minute. Fill material. Oh, that's so weird. The lead material like completely removes the color. You can't paint extra color on top of it. That's disappointing. Maybe there's like a feature here that, oh, I see. Use material color set all the way up. That's weird. I now have it filled with white, but it's much darker than it was before. That's weird, and now it's not letting me set it back to the way it was before. Well, now that's too dark. That's not going to work. So let's see if I use aluminum. Maybe I can try to edit this material so it's not quite so shiny though. That's something I've never been able to figure out with the redshift materials is like where is the shininess or roughness? Try to bring up the sheen roughness. And now I set it back down, but the material didn't actually change. know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sculpt some like nicks and scratches and cuts into the wood. I think I'll try to get kind of a leather texture into this. All right, well, I'm gonna call it quits for today, and then next week I'll start up with a separate object, and then the week after that, well, actually not next week because the ZBrush Summit is happening next week, but the next time I'm on, I actually haven't set my calendar dates for the next live stream, so sometime in October, I'm going to do the second object, and then the time after that, I'm going to do the animation between the two different objects. Yeah, Matahala. Yeah, you can definitely texture within ZBrush. You can actually animate within ZBrush, which is what I'm going to be doing eventually. Going to do a fun little transformation animation between this object and another object, and then back again with a different animation. So it's a big experiment. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to have a lot of mistakes. So just got to get this metal figured out. This metal is definitely not working right. So, but yeah, thanks for joining everybody. See you next time. Bye.